What's up, guys? I got a beautiful one here for you today. A little short wide. It's got a 6-liter in it. It's an LS2 though, but it's got rectangle port heads on it, and a 6L80E transmission, and a nice cam, and Willwood brakes all the way around it. Really neat truck. I did a base tune on it a couple of months ago. Went to the guy's house, got it running for him and stuff, and here we are today. I told him fix all your little issues that you had with it, get it together. He didn't have any front sheet metal or anything on it, so we're gonna go ahead and make a YouTube video on this and tune it. I know I haven't made one in a while, I know, but it's a beautimous day here in Owasso, and look at a beautiful car here, or truck. So why not? Let's get on. All right, so yeah, welcome back, guys. Had to run to Best Buy and get a new SD card. It was corrupt. Yay. So I got another one. Not a big deal. But yeah, this car, or this truck, I keep saying car. It's a peppy little son of a bitch. I just drove it. I live about a mile away from a Best Buy. It definitely needs some work, especially on the transmission side. It's pretty soft to me, and it kind of does its little torque management BS. So we're gonna fix that. It actually has a check engine light too, for whatever reason. I'm gonna check that out and see what's going on with it. Check engine, read DTCs, a lot. So just a bunch of BS stuff. So brake booster, fuel level sensor, anti-lock brake system, a bunch of stuff I'm gonna delete because it's a swapped vehicle. So I'm not worried about any of that stuff right now. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna go data log it right now. I'm not gonna flash anything else on it. I'm gonna go data log it and adjust the fueling and stuff on it and the timing. And then just go from there, and I'll do the transmission stuff later. I'll show you guys how to do a 6L80E transmission. I know I tried to show you guys in that Camaro video, but this one I'm gonna be a little bit more in depth with it. But yeah, let's get this thing going. We're data logging right now. You know, these trucks, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I love the way they look. I like all that stuff about them. I absolutely hate the way you sit in these things. I don't like it at all. You sit kind of like up and forward, and I'm not really a tall guy. I'm just 5'11", 6 foot. I mean, it's just the way they sit. Like, you just feel like you're just upright, and I like to be a little relaxed and kind of low, like a sports car, No, it's not. There we go. Nice new door seals. I just noticed too, saying surprising about these trucks, it's got a little cargo lamp right here. I never noticed that on one of these. So I've driven quite a few of these trucks and never noticed that. So for data logging, I fixed all the check engine light stuff, so it was just a bunch of random crap, and now it just stopped data logging for whatever reason. Come on. Love technology sometimes, What is this lady doing? Get out of the road. Hi. Yeah, God bless you too. All right, I think we can tune now. I changed the cable. So stupid. And the cable's been working pretty good too. I should have known better. It's an eBay cable or Amazon or whatever. So that's what I get. So. All right, so far so good. Jeez. Hey, why does it take so long to tune my vehicle? It just does sometimes. Sometimes it be like that. So while we're on the subject of 6L80E transmissions, let's explain a couple of things with them. They're pretty decent. They're not bad. The tuning sucks on them as far as the factory tuning. They as in GM, love to make the converter lock up in second gear and beyond at a really low RPM, low mile an hour, and that's really hell on the transmission. They have a ton of torque management in them. They have a ton of shift timing in them. Like, they don't shift good. The mile per hour thing, like all the shift tables are all screwed up. So even if you have a stock one, a tune will definitely benefit you, especially on the transmission side. Just getting rid of that torque converter lockup in second, third, and fourth will drastically improve your shift quality of that transmission. Personally, I only make them lock up in fifth and sixth gear. I don't really see a point in making them lock up any lower than that. It just bogs the motor down. I mean, it's just can't be good for anything. I do that with every setup, and I've never had a complaint out of them. I don't make these things shift really hard. I'll show you some stuff to do here shortly. I'm gonna tune this transmission because it's really pissing me off. You can see it just like, I mean, you can hear it. I just have my foot steady on the throttle, and it's like, we're gonna get rid of that, or a majority of that. So I have a before and after what I pulled up here. So I have a compare file, which is the final version of this tune right here. So if you want to tune your 6L80E, the first thing I usually do is come over here to shift pressures and disable your clutch air purge right here. Come over here to your baseline pressure. You're going to have these two selected right here. Go down here, zero them out. It's the only thing I'm going to do in pressures. Now in this particular vehicle, I actually did lower the pressure because that like part throttle shift was a little much right here. It was kind of harsh after I got done doing all that stuff, but you do that at your own risk. I don't raise the PSI or anything. If anything, I actually lower it. So next thing you want to do is we're going to shift timing right here. Go ahead and zero all this out right here, except like the 1, 3, and then the ones that skip gears. Don't even touch that stuff. But the rest of these, like just like the special, just zero all that stuff out, and then the desired time right here. You can see the compare file. Just zero it out right here. Go back 2 seconds. There we go. And then the inertia adder, you're gonna go ahead and zero this out as well too. I know a lot of people are probably freaking out about this stuff, but literally this is how you make them shift fast. Do that on the 1, 2, the 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and the 5, 6. Same thing on the special table. I didn't do anything on the transitional times. Just leave those alone. I didn't have to do anything on that because it shifted pretty damn quick after I got done doing all this stuff. So you will see that in the video. Torque converter. If you have a stock vehicle, just copy this table right here. All right, 318 on the applies and 317 on the releases. If you hit 318 miles an hour on your Silverado or whatever the hell you got, you probably not using HP tuners. So this is just going to ensure that I'll never ever come on in first through fourth gear. In fifth gear, you can see I extended it out pretty good, and then there's the release right there. This particular vehicle has 389 gears and a 28-inch tall tire. I copied and pasted all of these right here. So from the normal all the way to the pattern B, and almost the hot stuff, really. I've never seen them get cooking hot. Torque management. The only thing I did was change the speed control from torque ramp to immediate. And then the upshift, I lowered it just a little bit, like not a lot. So to a 0.8 right there. And then the adder, I zeroed the adders out. I always zero the adders out on them, even if it's a stock vehicle. This one right here, I usually leave them at 1. But it was still pulling a bunch of timing out, so I went ahead and just lower that just a little bit, not much. You don't want to zero those tables out or go too low with them. Shift scheduling. Now you want to get yourself this tool called Bluecat. Yep, BC Trans. So you just Google search Bluetooth or Bluecat Trans tool, and you will find this. So this is how you get all your shift tables and then your torque converter settings and all that stuff. So this is going to be a 6L80E transmission. We have it shifting at 6,300 RPM. We have an 800 RPM idle. We got a 389 gear, which is kind of tight for this thing. And then a 28-inch tall tire, 28.1 if you're splitting hairs. You got about a 1,600 RPM torque converter. Now, we got an 04 and up truck right there. Shift lead time. So I'm going to guess the weight on this, 4,300 pounds. And this thing's probably a solid 450 wheel horsepower. So if you see this factor offset up and down. So the down, like this is like the sensitivity of the downshift right here and the upshift. I always go up 1 notch on the downshift just to make it kind of lighter on its feet and just go from there. So it's going to spit out all these numbers right here. And then you're going to go ahead and hit export. Now you can do that on the 4L60, the 80, and the 6L80. The 8L90 and the 10L90, you're gonna have to select this whole table right here, right click it, and then click copy right there. And then you paste it. On the 6L80s and everything else, you can just hit export right here, and it'll have an export window. You can just hit copy table right here and go over here. Now, you can see it doesn't match because I raised it up quite a bit from what this spit out. This will get you in the ballpark right here, but I'd say it's 90% perfect. Sometimes I have to adjust them. Other times it's just perfect. I don't have to touch anything on this thing. But on this case right here, I actually had to raise it quite a bit on certain spots and to make it shift pretty normal, but you'll see that in the video. So go ahead and copy and paste that. It'll spit out your 5th gear table as well. 5th gear was fairly close, and then you got your 6th gear and all that stuff, so on and so forth. You got your watt up and throttle shift table. If you click on this right here, you notice I have a 2 column 1. Just click 2 column 1 and it'll spit you out another 2nd column there. Does your 5th gear, your 6th gear, your watt up and throttle RPM. Make sure you copy and paste it all over there. Torque converter table. Actually, I did not change that. I didn't show you guys that, did I? Let's go back here. That's one thing I forgot right there. So we're going to go ahead and X that out right there. Go to your min gear right here. I want it to lock up in 5th gear, Excel gear, and then we're going to put watt up and throttle because we don't want watt up and throttle at all. So 5, 6, and 7 on this one. Exported again. It might change the shift tables. Let's go double check them. Nope, didn't change the shift tables at all. So cool. But anyway, that will spit out your torque converter tables right there. And then here's your 5th gear torque converter table. Copy and paste that. 6th gear. You're gonna have to mess with it. You're gonna have to mess with it. If it's something like this truck right here, you're gonna have to mess with it. It's not just a copy and paste and it's all done and that's it. You're gonna have to go out drive it. You have to go feel it, see what it feels like, see if it's light on its feet, all that. I like to drive them where it's not bogging down or revving too high. I like that happy medium where it feels real happy and nice. It's right there on the torque band, just a nice shifting transmission. That's exactly what I like. So that's all I have to show you on torque converter settings and stuff. Now, if you have a converter, it's going to be a little different. You're going to input that converter information in Bluecat, and it'll spit out different numbers as well. I don't really mess with the inertia factor and stuff too much. I know some people do, but I don't mess with anything else in these transmissions. Every once in a while, I will, like this case, I had to lower the pressure right here on this 100 pound-feet right here, just because it was a little harsh. But it's not going to kill the transmission to lower it a little bit. Now, again, I left all this stuff stock. Everything is a stock. Everything is a stock on it. Oh, adaptive. I am so sorry. Forgot about this one too. Maximum volume on the 2-3 shift. You notice it's 40 stock. Just change it to 200. Right there, and you're good to go. It's just like a clutch fill thingamawhopper, whatever. So just make sure that's at 200. So that is pretty much it on them. To me, they're pretty simple transmissions to tune, and you can gain quite a bit of drivability out of tuning one of these just by using Bluecat. And honestly, just by using Bluecat and then turning your damn torque converter off in 1st through 4th gear. Honestly, that's one of the best damn things you can do to a 6L80 transmission. So let's get back to the video here. All right, so you guys kind of know how to adjust a 6L80. Now that Bluecat tool, it comes in handy. It really does. But I know damn well I'm gonna have to raise those mile-an-hour shift points up because I know it's gonna bog a little bit. But it's a good starting point. So we're just gonna go from that, and then rinse and repeat. That is so much better already. But the shift points are a little early, so I'm gonna go ahead and raise those a little bit. So let's do the 2, 3, 4. It immediately shifts, but I'm gonna drag those out now. So I'm gonna go back in there and I'm probably gonna add, probably 3 mile an hour on the 1st gear, and then the 2nd gear, probably 5. Is shifting way too early. So I know damn well it is. Yeah, it's shifting way too early. So I'm just gonna pull over immediately and do it. So I'm just gonna do it off camera. But But again, it's all going to be feel. So, but when you do it, make sure you do it on the downshift table too. So don't just do it on the upshift table. All right, so that feels way better as far as the shift timing goes. The scheduling, so like the mile an hour it actually shifts at. The 2.3 is still pretty early. The 1.2 feels really good, so I'm gonna have to mess with that a little bit more. Everything else feels like it's okay, but again, this thing has 390 gears in it with a 28-inch tall tire and a 6-speed trans, automatic trans on top of that, so it's gonna shift a lot. So now that is way better shifting. I know you didn't get on camera, but I'll do it here in a second. But it's way better. I'm gonna extend it out probably another 3 to 4 miles an hour across the board, but I'm gonna leave the wide open throttle step alone. So it's just got too short of a gear in it to for, I guess, for Bluecat. I've never had a problem out of it doing like Camaros and Chevy SS's and other vehicles that came out of with a 6-speed, or even the full-size trucks either. But like this one, it's a swap and it's got a really steep gear in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust it more. It's just, you're gonna have to play with it. You're gonna have to see what feels better and then just go from there. All right, so we're just doing some final touches on it right now. The microphone right here. I lowered the mile an hour where 1.2 shifts at like 12% throttle because it was just hanging just a little bit too much for my taste. Got lockup only above 45 miles an hour now. It's kind of hard doing one of these because of the gears in the back. All the fueling's dialed in, all the VVE and the MAF. That's all ready to rock and roll. I did took a lot of timing out of it too. I was still running the stock LS2 timing table, and that's a little too hot for rectangle port heads. So rectangle port heads do not like a lot of timing. So there's your other tip of the day too. Oh, that's a lot better. Oh yeah, that's like perfect. Oh man, I'm gonna leave that. I like that. Still has a little bit of torque management in it, and that's totally fine. But you don't want to like overdo it though. Like you don't want it like slamming gears and stuff. Like it's just not. It ain't good for the trans. That's perfect. That feels pretty damn good to me. And when I tune these, I tune them like how I would drive it every day, you know? Like I don't go flogging on stuff a lot, you know? My main focus is drivability. Like if it don't drive good, then it ain't worth the shit to me. It needs to drive pretty damn good. You need to get in there, put the keys in it, fire it up, no hassles, drive it, no dying, drive smooth down the road, doesn't drive on its own, you know, like throttle hanging open or anything, like none of that crap, you know. Like I want your grandma to get in this thing and she has no problems driving it. That's exactly what I want. I don't care how crazy the setup is either. I'm gonna try my damnedest to make it drive as good as I can. And then the power comes later. The power is the easiest thing to do. It's literally wide open throttle and I'm adjusting the MAF table to match whatever fueling I'm commanding, and that's it. It's some timing. That's really it. And if you want to get some power numbers, you really want to tweak it, just throw it on the dyno and go from there. It's pretty easy on power. The hardest part is drivability and idle and all that stuff, and getting the trans just right. Especially this one. This one's kind of being a pain in the ass for the transmission. I've probably flashed it a good 10 times, just literally nitpicking it. Because again, I'm gonna tune it just like it would be my car. That feels great. Now, like I said, this thing does need a converter. I would do a 3,000 to 3,500 in this one. I think 4 grand would be a little bit too much for this one. But I think a 3,000, 3,500 would be perfect for this truck, and it would still drive really well. converter technology's come a long way since the 70s and 80s. So I know people are like, oh God, that's a big converter, or small converter, you know, if you know diameters and stuff. But that's a large RPM converter. Not really. It's pretty tame. Crisp 4,000 RPM, just yeah. All right, so we got this is the setup on this thing. One issue is this thing, it is just sucking in hot air really bad. These IATs were getting up to like 130, 140 degrees. It's idling. Driving on the highway is not any better. It gets to like 126 and it won't go anywhere. So he needs to make some kind of box right here and then just suck it from the fender. I think it'd be a lot better. But this is a damn good setup. This whole thing, it's nice and tight in here. I think this accessory drive was like a Holley accessory drive for like $2,000 or something like that, or 2,500 bucks. Just everything is just nice and clean under here. Take note on the steering shaft. If you guys are doing a LS swap in one of these and you want a rack and pinion down there, use that one. Damn, I can't stress that enough. Got a Hydro Boost setup, Willwoods all the way around it with a proportioning valve, really nice wiring harness. Everything is just super clean, super duper clean on this thing. And it shows. The guy takes real good pride in this thing. All right, I'll let her cool down for a little bit. I'll let my laptop charge again. Adjusted a couple things. Now we're just gonna go off for its final little spin. I did the water from the off camera. I'm running out of time today, so I just did it off camera. It's pretty peppy. I'll go make a little hit with it real quick, and then so oh yeah, this thing has an Instagram. It has its own Instagram. It is Hank this Squarebod. I'll leave a link down in the description below if you want to go check it out. It's a full frame off truck, no expense spared. They didn't repaint the body, it's the original color and all that stuff, but they did all the windows and all that stuff, and it's just a really nice truck. Just a cool square body, man. Again, I am not a fan of how these things drive as far as sitting in them, but I like this truck. It is cool. The only thing I would change is that damn air box, and then the seating position. I probably wouldn't change anything else. Probably put a converter in it. That's about it. Other than that, I think it's perfect. It's a great truck. Well, that's gonna do it for this one. Ended up with a 1220 air fuel. I did that off camera, by the way. I adjusted some timing just now, but we're at 18 degrees, wide open throttle, full tilt. I just lowered the mile an hour raised the mile an hour threshold to where it can downshift that, so it gets it now. But yeah, well, that is gonna do it for this one, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, you know, do all that YouTuber stuff, you know, comment down below. I'll catch you guys on the next one.